The 90s really were a wild time for snacks. Companies weren't asking, shall we make this? They were asking, should we make it bigger, brighter, and shall we make turtle pies?
Sweet.
It can't be beat.
And a free turtle sticker inside, that's neat. New from Boston, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies. Fresh from the sewers to you.
And according to over 240,000 votes on Ranker, these 21 items that we're going to quickly run through today are categorized as the most disgusting and the worst snacks of the 90s. Now, this is going to be really interesting because some of these snacks that they've got on their worst list, we categorize as 90s kids as the most legendary and best snacks of the 90s. So what we're going to do is quickly run through each snack and decide, do they belong on the good list or the bad list? I want you guys to keep a note as well and hit me in the comment sections with what you agree on and disagree on. Let's jump in. Coming in at 21, we've got the Klondike Choco Taco. I will be honest with you, how is this even in a discussion point to be one of the worst snacks of the 90s? This one really baffled me. It's one of the most legendary snacks that we had growing up. For those of you who don't know, the Klondike Choco Taco was created in the 80s, went viral with us 90s kids, and was discontinued in the year 2022 for reasons that we still don't know to this day. It was a waffly taco shell, ice cream in the middle, dipped in chocolate. Literally, what is there not to like? Klondike, if you ever watch this, bring the Choco Taco back, because seriously, who hates a Choco Taco? This is 1 point to the good list. Butterfinger BBs, tiny bite-sized Butterfingers marketed by no other than Bart Simpson. Yes, our dentists may have hated us for eating them. They stuck to your teeth like cement, and of course the fillings we got from them were insane. But the reality is they were tiny, dangerous bites of chocolate, peanutty, crunchiness. It was absolutely insane. One of my personal favorites. They were surprisingly discontinued in the mid-2000s, which probably makes us even more nostalgic for them. This for me personally is an easy point to the good list, making it 2 to the good list, 0 to the bad list. Coming in at number 19, we've got Punch Out Shapes fruit roll-ups. It's a fruit roll-up, you punch out your shapes before eating them. Amazing idea. And I actually had the Jurassic Park one in 1997. I managed to get all my dinosaurs out perfectly. My brother didn't, and all he did was roll it up and shove it in his mouth. Insane. Now they're saying because you couldn't get all the shapes out correctly, that was the reason why it should be on the worst and most disgusting snack list of the 90s. For me, this is another point to the 90s, there's another point to the good list, because it was just an amazing fruit roll-up with just a bit of trickiness and stickiness. What's not to like? Coming in at number 18, we've got Dunkaroos. You've got your mini pot of biscuits with the pot of icing for dipping. You always run out of the icing before you finish your biscuits. Every time. You loved them, your mum loved them, your dad loved them, your granddad loved them. Everyone loved Dunkaroos. It was simple, it was chaotic, it was a thing of beauty. Somehow, they were discontinued in the 2010s, but thankfully, they've been brought back. Maybe I think it was like a year or two ago, they were brought back and here to stay. Again, another legendary snack that I don't know how has made it onto a discussion point about being one of the worst snacks of the 90s. It's another point to the good list, making it 4 to 0. Coming in at number 17, we have Shark Bites. Shark Bites are a shark-shaped fruit-based sweet. For me personally, they were not only just good to look at, they were good just to play with. You spent more time playing with them before you actually ate them, which could sometimes make them feel a little stale or a little harder when you actually came to eating them. And some people thought they tasted slightly artificial. Not for me. For me personally, I absolutely love Shark Bites. They're still sold to this day, albeit on the manufacturer's website. They've actually discontinued them from 2015, according to what my research actually says. For me, it's another point to the good list. For me, Shark Bites shouldn't even be in a discussion point to be one of the worst snacks of the 90s. Coming in at number 16, we've got Planters Cheese Balls. They were aggressively orange. They left stains on your fingers, on your mouth, on your teeth for days to come, and they were sold in tins. They were originally discontinued in 2006, but they were brought back in 2011 briefly. Now for me, as being a British person, whenever we go on holiday, what we do is we eat cheesy snacks. It's just something that every Brit who will ever watch this can relate to, and you can back me up, Brits, in the comment section. I remember having Planters cheese balls when, I think it was 2005, and I was hooked. Some people say that you either got hooked to them or they were unbearable. This one, again, for me, is a point to the good list. I don't know how, again, this is on a discussion point for being on the bad list. Coming in at number 15, we have Push Pops. It's a lollipop you can push up and down in a plastic tube. And the triple push pop, by the way, what an invention that was. Yes, bad for your teeth. Yes, definitely gave us lots of feelings with our dentists like most of the sweets did back in the 90s. Should it be on a bad list? Absolutely not. Again, I don't know how this is in a discussion point for that. It tasted amazing. You actually used to suck on the lolly for hours and hours and hours before it actually go. And sometimes you make like the little sharp point out of it as well, which is just an insane nostalgic memory that I have. For me, at number 14, we've got the Rice Krispies Treats Bar cereal. I'm personally a massive fan of the Rice Krispie Treats Bar. I think it's an absolute insane invention. And growing up in the 90s, if you had that in your lunchbox, your mum and dad was goated. They were like the best thing ever. So for me, the cereal was an amazing invention. For me personally, I don't think this is something I could eat every single day for cereal. I think it's probably slightly too sugary now. As a kid, I absolutely could. Again, I don't know how this is in a discussion point to be one of the worst snacks of the 90s. Did it deserve a permanent spot on the shelves? Possibly not. I don't think it would sell enough. So is it considered one of the worst snacks of the 90s? Absolutely not. One for the good list for me. Coming in at number 13, we have Zebra Cakes. It's a sweet sponge cake, cream filling with chocolate stripes. The packaging looks pretty awesome, to be really honest with you, but I had my first Zebra Cake a couple of years ago when I was in California in a place called the Costa Mesa, and I've got to be honest with you, I was super underwhelmed. Maybe if I had it as a kid, I might have felt slightly differently. However, the packaging made it you almost believe that this was going to be one of the most magical cakes you're ever going to eat. It was quite underwhelming. So I'm actually going to agree that this should be on the bad list. And my reason why is I just think there's far better snacks and cakes out there. Which leads us to the next one, which should not be on this list. And that is Cosmic Brownies. Dense chocolatey brownie with candy coated chips. I actually had the Cosmic Brownie like 15 years ago, but I had it after the Zebra Cakes. I remembered how good it was. I wanted to make sure I left one good cake just in case that one was bad. Yet slightly oily, very rich, but absolutely a work of art. Wholeheartedly disagree with the internet on this one. The Cosmic Brownie is one of the best snacks of the 90s. It's going on the good list. Coming in at number 11, we've got Gushers. They were a liquid-filled fruit snack which just exploded in your mouth. These again were a thing of absolute beauty, a work of art, sold in the US, sold in the UK, still sold to this day, and will outlive you and I. Again, don't know how this one's made it onto the bad list. It's an absolute iconic snack from the 90s, another one to the good list. Coming in at number 10, we got Squeezits. Squeezits for me I've got peak childhood memories of. My granddad used to own a very little shop, and I'd sneak into the back room, steal 4 Squeezits for me, my 2 brothers and my sister, 4 packs of Rainbow Drops, and would sit there, twist it open, drink it, eat the Rainbow Drops, and it's my one of my peak childhood memories is just of me doing that. And of course, every week it'd come for me for my pocket money to make sure I could pay for everything, and that's just how it was. So Squeezits, would I give it to my own kids? Probably not. It was sugary madness. But the experience of just squeezing the top off is just childhood nostalgia. For me, I think this one's going to the good list because the memories that not only that I have, but that you probably have of this drink is enough to push it to the good list. But I do understand why this one's actually in a discussion point for sure. At number 9, we've got Lunchables. And you probably had a kid that you called Lunchable at school. We did. One of my close friends came over from Switzerland, and every lunchtime he had a Lunchable. Amazing crackers, ham, cheese, snack with it. We were all jealous. He was like the kid at school at lunchtime. He had his status symbol, always had a Lunchable, and we were sat there with our boring sandwiches, obviously still looking to have food, but in comparison to that, as a kid, that's what we wanted. And what I love about the Lunchables is they've tried to innovate over the years. They've tried so many different things, and they have tried to continually update the flavors as the years have progressed. Still a widely successful snack to this day. Again, I don't know how this is a discussion point from the worst snacks of the 90s. Definitely a point to the good list. Coming in at 8, we've got Ecto Cooler. It's a neon green drink tied to the Ghostbusters franchise. Mainly tastes citrusy, but no one could really describe the actual flavor of Ecto Cooler. The green colour, the Slimer mascot, the cartoonish marketing, we loved it, our parents loved it too. Now it was actually discontinued in the 2000s and briefly re-released in 2016 due to fan demand. For me, again, this is one to the good list. I can't put this on the bad list. This is an absolute nostalgia icon from the 90s. At number 7, we've got another nostalgia icon, it's the Trix Yoghurt. The Trix Yoghurt for the Trix cereal, which was wildly successful. It was really bright in colour, swirly, and as a kid, it tasted absolutely amazing. Now, The issue with the Trix Yoghurt was the food dyes which were actually in it to get the colour are not really the best for your health. As a kid, we didn't care about that. And to be frank, we just didn't know what we were eating at the time. As an adult, would I eat it? I'm not too sure, to be really honest with you, unless they changed the recipe to suit. Now, they actually were discontinued. It was a very short-lived experiment, but they were brought back pretty quickly after due to fan demand. 2 years ago, I saw them on the shelves back when I was in the States. For me, might be slightly controversial. I'm going to say for nostalgic feelings, good. For execution, just about on the good list. At number 6, we've got Bologna Sandwhich. It's another lunchbox staple from the 90s. They were cheap, easy to prepare, quite unremarkable, hard to hate, but they were just there. Some people loved them, some people tolerated them. But if I go back to the Lunchables, kid, you would have traded that sandwich a million times over for 1 pack of Lunchables. That's just a fact. For me personally, I'm going to go bad list on this one, not because it's done anything wrong, but if I think about all the other snacks from the 90s and what should be a discussion point for one of the worst snacks, the most disgusting snacks of the 90s, the Bologna Sandwich for me deserves to be on that list. Keen to hear people's thoughts on this one. At number 5, we've got another legendary piece of nostalgia. It's Surge. Surge was created in 1997 and it was targeted almost as a rebel's drink. It was highly caffeinated, highly sugary, highly tasty, and the marketing around it was absolutely awesome. It somehow, due to decline in sales, was discontinued in 2003, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And due to a fans petition, was brought back in 2014. Now, Surge is still around to this day, which is awesome. I don't think the taste is quite the same as what it was when I had it when I was first growing up, but still amazing nonetheless. Peak 90s, loud commercials, bold, one for the good list. Again, should not even be in a discussion point for one of the worst snacks of the 90s. At number 4, we've got Crystal Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi is something that I had in the 90s, and I had it about a year or two ago when we had another drop of it in the UK, because they sometimes still do nostalgic releases of this product. For me, what I actually just used to love about it was the fact that it was just see-through, and it was Pepsi. Confusing as hell to our parents, but to us, it was just a work of art. I understand why it was discontinued in the mid-90s, because in comparison to all the other colas out there, the Pepsis out there, it just didn't quite make much sense. So doing the nostalgic drops how they do it today makes complete sense. Should this be on one of the worst snacks lists of the 90s? For me, no, this is one to the good list. At number 3, we've got Kid Cuisine. Might be slightly controversial, but for me, their marketing was absolutely insane. They did it perfectly in the 90s. The colourful aesthetics of the product, their brand partnerships, all the cool things that they did was absolutely on point until you actually opened it and ate the product where it tasted synthetic and very processed. Yeah, you got your cool dinosaur and your peas and whatever, but the reality was it just didn't taste very good. Whilst they're still sold to this day, they're really remembered for being a 90s classic. For me, I agree this one actually should be on the bad list, but it is a piece of nostalgia, so that's what makes it more complicated. Bad list based upon purely taste, good list based upon aesthetics and partnerships. At number 2, you've got Orbitz. Take yourself back to your childhood bedroom, look at your lava lamp and drink it. That's what drinking Orbitz was like. It was insane. You had the liquid and you had the squishy balls, which you expected something magical from every single time. As a kid, you loved it. If you're an adult, you didn't. That's just being really honest, because the squishy balls didn't make much sense to an adult, but to a kid, we loved the audacity of it. We loved the boldness of it. Launched in 1997, it was quickly discontinued thereafter, just due to sales. It just didn't quite work out how they expected it to. Should this be regarded as one of the worst snacks of the 90s? No. And the reason why is it's a piece of nostalgic history. For me, they should just bring it back in random drops purely for nostalgia purposes, because we'll buy it. Is it one of the worst snacks of the 90s? Absolutely not. I can think of 20 worse than Orbitz. At number 1, we have purple ketchup. In the early 2000s, Heinz experimented with different colours of ketchup, purple and green being most notable. Now, the thing with purple ketchup was it was really weird eating your chips, your turkey dinosaurs, your chicken dippers with the purple ketchup. It just didn't taste the same as the red number 1, and it was just slightly horrifying to look at. Quite a cool experiment to begin with, but after a while, the novelty kind of just wore off. Same with the green. The green was far worse than the purple, in my opinion. And the other reality was our parents just did not understand it, and they were also eating ketchup, so they were not buying the purple ketchup for us, which meant that the sales just declined after the initial bump. For me personally, I think this one belongs on the bad list. I'd happily never see this snack again, but I love the fact that they were bold enough to experiment and actually try. And that's something I can't say about most companies today. So there you have it. You've got the 21 snacks that rank as called the worst snacks of the 90s. And after close inspection, it's pretty clear that they actually meant the best snacks of the 90s, not the worst, because all of these have got a massive place in our hearts. Hit me in the comment section with which ones you agree on, disagree on. Would you add any more to the bad list? Are they all on the good list for you? Really keen to hear your thoughts. And if you like this video, you might like this next video, which is the top 20 worst things about the 90s. And you might see a trend here on, is it the worst or are they actually the best? Thanks for watching. Here's to the next one.